Good morning, members. A very good morning and very warm welcome from Team Training and Education of ISLA. Today we are conducting 46th of our Gyan Ganga webinar series, and today's topic is very unique. Today we are talking about, we will be talking about the regulation 2020 and its impact on independent surveyor. It's very much needed discussion we wanted to have with the members. Today's our session will be conducted by faculty Mr. P.C. Shukla sir, who is a ex-council member and he has a very good knowledge about this regulation from its inception. So I request Shukla sir to start with today's session.
Thank you, Sachin, very much. Thank you. And I welcome all participants who have joined this session, a very, very important session. Brother, I thought that I should discuss this important issue with you about the future of the profession. And it is very well talked about the regulation. What are the impact of the regulation on the independent surveyor? And precisely, I made this presentation with the overview that right from inception, because there must be very young surveyor in the this program today, they should know how the licensing started, what was the concept behind it. Then after privatization, what has happened after the advent of regulator, what changes are taking place, and where we missed the things to bring us in the state we are today. Frankly speaking, today we are in a very sad state, a very hopeless state as far as the future of the independent surveyor. I don't want to discourage you, but the fact of the matter is that we failed terribly in capitalizing the advantage which got by amendment 2014 in Insurance Act. Now, after these regulations come, they are being come in the life, the entire damage is going to the more to the ISLA than to the member. This is for the first time I'm telling you that the impact will be more on ISLA. ISLA will be back to 2000, will the state where we were started in 2000, and I think very, very desperate situation for all of us. So with this, I want to give you an overview of the situation. And today's presentation has 13 things which I have to discuss with you. What is the history of Act relating to surveyor law successor in India? How the 64 AUM took birth? Paradigm of change after privatization? Survey profession in other countries, in other jurisdiction?
Shukla sir, your voice is not coming.
Maybe नेटवर्क हैंग होगा ऐसा लग रहा है, इंटरनेट का प्रॉब्लम लग रहा है.
I think Shukla sir connection disconnect हो गया है. Okay, so members, today we will be discussing all this topic: history of Act relating to SLA in India, advent of 64 UM, paradigm of change after privatization, survey profession in other jurisdiction, amended 64 UM in insurance bill, SLA regulation, background of regulation 2020, proposed recommendation for SLA regulation 2020 and its impact, why regulator is keen for corporate identity, in-house surveyor, how we are reacting to this problem, what we should do know, role of ISLA after regulation 2020, and the final message. And after that, we will be taking also few questions. We are waiting just to Shukla sir reconnect the things. Yes, I think Shukla sir is connected now.
Okay.
Now connected, sir.
Okay.
So I have discussed the plan, sir.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I have discussed the plan, the today's roadmap of presentation.
Okay. So I discussed the today presentation. Again, now we have just discussed. You want me to again discuss? Okay.
No,
Sir,
I have
Friends,
discussed that.
अपना वो प्रेजेंटेशन शेयर करना पड़ेगा सर आपको.
अच्छा. Okay, start करना पड़ेगा.
हाँ,
Yes,
yes sir, yes.
Now you can see the presentation now.
Yes sir, yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect, sir.
Okay. So, again, I am going to discuss. I think if you have not heard, friends, today I am going to make a presentation on Regulation 20 and in its impact on independent surveyor. It's a very, very important topic. And within few days, we are going to have this Regulation 20. And what is going to be impact on independent surveyor? The situation is very grim after these regulations see the light of the day, because whatever we have gained from 2000 to 2014 and onwards, we are going almost to lose everything. And as far as my knowledge goes, we are going back to 2000. And I'm also afraid that after these regulations, how the ISLA is going to attract the membership, because licensing will be delinked from ISLA membership with the view that it will be automatically, because there is an act which is providing a status of ISLA that membership of ISLA should be one of the foremost requirement to become a loss assessor in India. But IRDA is already adamant to get rid of us, and in this regulation they are making a provision for that. So it's very important for all of you. I am giving a complete overview right from the inception, how the licensing come, then how the regulator come, then how the privatization, then what are the different impact of these regulation. So today I will discuss about the history of act relating to survey loss assessor in India before nationalization, then how 64 UM took birth, then what are the paradigm change after privatization, then what are the survey profession in other countries and other jurisdiction, then what were the important amendment made in 2014, then different SLA regulation 2000, 2013, 2015, and amended 2017, and now background of the proposed regulation 2020, and what are the recommendation for SLA regulation in 2020 and its impact on the profession. Now, why regulator is so keen for corporate identity in in-house survey? This is what we are going to see today. How we are reacting to these problems and what we should do now. Role of ISLA after regulation 2020 and the ultimate message. In fact, the whole presentation is more about ISLA future. And as you know, our future also depend on the ISLA future. So ISLA is going to be a toothless body after these regulations, a totally toothless body. Let's see. Now, this is one slide I wanted to share with you, where you see regulation. We are waiting for the regulation, and surveyor is looking here, waiting for the cat to come. In fact, here now, it is not the surveyor, it is ISLA. It is the ISLA which is going to get damaged about after these regulations. Now, this is one of the reality of life. The people don't change when they need to for better option. They change only when they realize that there is no other option. This is the reality of life. This is what we have done. So, is that the wind of change? You can't direct the change wind, but you can adjust your sales. So wind, you can't change the wind. That have been doing for a long time, but we failed miserably. And but what we can do, we can adjust ourselves with the changes. There's a very good share looking to the whole ambit of this 2020, whole proceedings after 2000, कि ये जब्र भी देखा है तारीख की नजरों ने, लम्हों ने खता की थी सदियों ने सजा पाई. The last sentence, that लम्हों ने खता की थी सदियों ने सजा पाई, there's a small mistake made us to leave us to bring us to this stage. और इसको ऐसे भी कह सकते हैं कि सिर्फ एक कदम उठा था गलत राह शौक में, सिर्फ एक कदम उठा था गलत राह शौक में, और मंजिलें तमाम उम्र हमें ढूंढती रही. So this is where the theme of this presentation today. Now, what is the history of act relating to SL in India? You see, till the commencement of Insurance Amendment Act in 1968, insurance was totally in the hands of private sector. There were about 350 private insurance companies. There were no public sector company. And what was happening in those times? Even now and then, one or the other company was heard as going into liquidation, and large public money used to disappear. This was happening. Now, the amendment was brought in 1968 then, and it was brought in with two objectives: how to secure the public money invested for national interest, and how the interest of the consumer is safeguarded. Now, this took the birth of 64 UM, a surveyor, a licensed surveyor. I don't know how many of you know that before this, when there was a privatization, there was no nationalization of insurance company. There were no standard surveyors. If somebody is working in a garage, he become a surveyor. There was no licensing of this surveyor. There was no regulation on this surveyor. There was no qualification requirement. And all mechanics, anybody working can become a surveyor. One of our senior most surveyor in Kanpur, who was working as a petrol vendor in the petrol pump and become a very good surveyor. He is still alive, about 87-year-old person. So most of the surveyors were having no qualification. Anybody may insure the private insurance company, this they can bring the surveyor. And what irony today, we are facing the same situation today. Whatever happened before these amendments in 1968 and thereafter, now we are back to same situation. Now the motor mechanics are becoming surveyor again. So now in 1968, when this amendment was brought in, it was a gazette. And what was the theme of the gazette? That all claims above certain limits should be surveyed and approved by a surveyor. While debating on the proposed section on the State Finance Minister, then Mr. K.C. Pant in Rajya Sabha stated that it is proposed to require that all claims above certain limits should be surveyed by one of the surveyors in the approved panel to be maintained by the controller, said to be controller of insurance, if you remember, before they can be paid. So this was brought in the amendment in 1968. Now this gave birth to the 64 UM, and in 64, namely licensing of surveyor and loss assessor were introduced on 8th June 1968, and there were insertion of section 64 UM in the Insurance Act, which gave birth of SLAs in India, and licensing system was implemented after nationalization in 1971. Now, what are the provisions of those 64M, that the old 64M? There was a qualification eligibility for surveyor loss assessor, license and renewal fee, procedure for renewal and issue of license, disqualification cancellation, validity period, minimum limit of loss equal to 20,000, making necessary to obtain report from approved SLA, Name of the licensing authority was Controller of Insurance under Ministry of Finance, which was providing the license. If anybody, most of you are old, must have remember that during those days, it was easy to get a surveyor license than a driving license. I mean, just give your qualification, fill a form, you'll get a license. Getting a driving license was more difficult than a surveyor license. It was very easy. So most of the people who are coming in this profession during that time. Now there are certain defects in the 64M that these provisions do not incorporate code of conduct and duties and responsibility of responsibility of the surveyor and necessary training for SLA. These are the three main things which this 64UM lack. As a result, what has happened? There was no code of conduct. There was no duty and responsibility of the surveyor. As a result, the surveyor were free. They can do anything. I mean, the major corruption during those days was in connivance with the insurance company, with the surveyor. I'm very sorry to say, because there was no control. I mean, you cannot delist a surveyor because there is no code of conduct. There's no framework in which he has to work. So it was a freelancing. You can do anything. I mean, you can make anything. You can do reject any claim, and ultimately there was a provision in the act that which says that the report is required for any loss above 20,000. Now there was a change after privatization. In 1993, before the advent of IRDA, when the insurance was to be open in the market, the ex-RBI governor, Mr. Malhotra, was asked to form a committee and give recommendation about the surveyor. He was solely looking about the affairs of the surveyor in the new regime when the market will be open in the Manmohan Singh government, when they have decided to open the insurance sector. So what he has suggested, that licensing system should be scrapped. The limit of 20,000 should exceed to 1 lakh. In 1993, he has given the recommendation. Remember, set up of a self-funded institute of surveyor and loss assessor. Insurance companies should be free to impanel and assign job to the surveyor. And in 2000, insurance sector is open for private enterprise. Now, when the private insurance company come after 2000, there's a total paradigm shift. And what was the major shift? That they believe in system, not personality. Before 2000, the surveyor job was totally personality driven. It's the name of the surveyor. The big old surveyor depends on the number of years and experience, and he is free to make any decision in insurance company because they're all public sector company. They can't go beyond the act provision of the act, so they have to follow the recommendation of the surveyor. So the private insurance company do not believe in personalities, they believe in system. Private company secondly want to control on claim outgo and TAT, because they have two requirements. They have to control the claim because they are there to make profit, not loss, and they need TAT, right? Which earlier regime of the surveyor were lacking. There was no TAT. I mean, it takes for months for the surveyor to submit the report. Now, the in-house surveyors are promoted by private player and regulator for valid and invalid reason. They have given a lot of reason how they are promoting the in-house surveyor. There are number of reasons were given that we'll discuss in the next slide. Independent SLA is mentioned, are taken as a liability, considered as a liability than a asset. That has changed. Now we are considered as a liability, and to show this, I want to show you a clip. When the limit of the surveyor is enhanced, what has been arrived in a newspaper report? It's not opening. Uh, Sachin, can you open this? Hello?
सर मेरे पास लिंक नहीं आया है मेरे पास,
अच्छा,
मैं ट्राई करता हूँ. हाँ, लिंक आया नहीं अभी तक.
नहीं आ गया लिंक, वो तो उसमें आ गया. नहीं, लिंक आया नहीं, लिंक तो भेज दिया आपको. So, sorry, I don't know why it is not opening. I have checked, it was opening. So the independent surveyor were considered a liability, and to show this, I want to show this slide. There was a paper news when the limits were raised. It was mentioned now there will be no delay in settling the claim, and all independent surveyor are free, or all the clients are free to lodge a claim up to 50,000 without any hassle. Then cashless services change the rule of the game. Then comes the cashless. If you remember, the cashless has come in depth, and this is a very important slide. I don't know if it doesn't open or so. So I was discussing about a news when this limit was enhanced by the IRDA in 2015, and the newspaper report says the general insurance company likely to get settled fast because of the limit, because of the surveyor. IRDA raises claim limit for hiring external surveyor, and what he was mentioning in this newspaper, that they were taking more time and they have more work because they are not able to deliver in time in this news report. So now with change in limit, the customer will be benefited. This is what was the news. Now the whole thing has changed, brother, when the cashless has come. Now I want your attention to this particular presentation slide, that how it has changed the game. Entire game is changed. Now cashless is the game changer. And how it comes? It was in McKinney and Company report in 2016. They have analyzed that what is the potential of sale and service market in India. You know, before that, what was happening? That selling the car was because of the huge competition. This, by simply selling the car, the dealer or the company is not able to make profit. So McKinney Company was given a task to study that what is the potential of sales service market in India. So they have submitted a report in 2016. In the report, they said that the total market size of repairing body shop services in 19,000 to 24,000 crore, and it is growing at the rate of 11%. This is the bifurcation. In commercial vehicle, the repairing revenue is 45 to 55 crore, car 6,000 to 7,000 crore, and two-wheeler, I couldn't believe it, it is 10,000 to 11,000 crore. I mean, two-wheeler market was attracting more repairing revenue even than the car revenue. This was as per the report. Now, if you bifurcate this a whole body shop potential, you will see the service body shop earn a revenue of 51%. The component, by selling component is spare, the revenue get by dealer is 23.52%. By battery and tire, they get revenue of 1.5%, and by equipment, they get a revenue of 23.91%. So the 51% revenue, which is getting to the service and body shop repair, become the focal point for everybody. And if you see the service center sale in different the Maruti has about 869 service center in 2016. Hyundai has about 300, Tata 250, GM 210, and Honda 120 service center. They were the revenue generator. As per ICRA report, 50-60% profit is generated in service to cross subsidize low margin in sale of the car. So this was being studies, and it was found that in order to get the automobile market to survive in the market, to sure, because as you know, the government is very serious in the auto industry because of the two reasons. It has 7% of the participation in GDP of India. The 7% of the GDP revenue is earned by the car sale. And secondly, it is the most employment generator activity. By opening, a lot of ancillaries are open and a lot of subsidiaries are open. So the most employable sector was auto center. The government was very keen to enhance this. Now, then comes motor package policy. There were certain changes in motor package policy. It was draft and made to suit the cashless services. To boost the auto sector, IDV has gone, IDV has come, loss assessment parameters are input, the survey discretion has gone because all the percentage of depreciation for different component is inbuilt in this policy. Secondly, it matches the aspiration of the customer in the falling market. You see, within 5 years, the rate of depreciation is the fix in the case of total loss in motor package policy. And if you see the market, because the market, there was a falling market about the second-hand car when the lot of new model have come, lot of new company have come. So in order to save those customers, because most of the customer have taken the car on loan for a 5 years EMI. So it is because of this reason you see the 5 years, for 5 years, the rate of depreciation in total loss claims have been fixed. So the surveyor's role more or less is marginalized in the sense that now he has nothing to say on this. Depreciation is concerned. For 5 years, the depreciation is fixed, IDV is fixed, and you cannot sell, you cannot indemnify insured below IDV as per this rule of this. So the more or less the surveyor's role has been diluted in order to set a stage for cashless. Now, motor package policy, in fact, a launching pad for cashless services. And now here comes the birth of the cashless. It is a real service to the customer. Auto sector in particular, authorized service center provider grabbed this concept. They were the first to grab this opportunity as a cashless game. Customer is very happy with cashless. It is win-win for customer and dealer both. And it is a boon for OEM dealer and threat for unauthorized dealer. And now the whole situation changed. Now, who is the real service provider? I mean, with the cashless, customer doesn't in the picture, insurance company doesn't in the picture. Now, who took the advantage? Dealer, auto sales company. Now he became a service provider. Now there are certain positive effects of cashless. Huge investment on infrastructure of workshop, and that is what we have to learn, that how these workshop have improved within time. Advent of new technology, Caroliner, etc. have come. Workshop change has customer focus. Service advisor, a new concept that has improved drastically. Service becomes system driven and job quality improved. These are the positive effect of, if you remember, before cashless, before this cashless, what was the quality of the service? There was no TAT. Customer is roaming around to the workshop, then to the surveyor, and then to the everybody. Now the cashless has changed the entire paradigm because the dealers who come to the advantage position, even the insurance company depend on the dealer to grab the premium. So these are the positive effect of cashless, and customer is very, very happy in this. Now there are certain negative effect of competition. Customer become ignorant about the cost charges because he has nothing to do with the cost and he is simply go appreciation and the salvage. Service expenses are higher 30% as compared to unrecognized workshop. This is the CCI report. Conversion and true value claims. lack of transparency in spare cost and salvage disposal. In Western world, you cannot, because there is a right for service. Right for service. I can go to any shop and buy a branded product of Hyundai from any shop. It is not that it is only the workshop provide the Hyundai product. So here, in spite of the lot of notices by CCI to the different companies, they are still holding the monopoly on their spare part cost. So these are the negative. Painting charges are high disproportionately. Body shop charges are not cost, but brand based. Now, for a denting painting in a Howdah workshop for a door, it is 6,000. For the same size of a door, for the same paint, for the same setup, for in a Hyundai, for in a Maruti shop, you have 3,000. So now it become a brand based charges. MU are signed fuzzing the policy conditions to grab business. Now insurance company are charges signing the MU with the dealer or with the company, overlooking the policy conditions. Bulk premium versus bulk claim. So the 48% was the bulk premium and 110% was the claim ratio. So these are the negative impact of the change. And net result what? A high claim ratio above 100%. Now, what has the fallout of the cashless? Insurance company lost hold on the customer and business. It is now the dealer. No road for loss minimization. You cannot go and argue with the dealer. I mean, there is no room for loss minimization. The rate are fixed, prices are fixed. You have to go and just sign the this. Then body shop charges are not cost but brand based, that we have already discussed. Insurance become a marketing tool and running for auto companies. Body shop a milking cow for all season. Cashless policy become expensive in spite of low selling cost. If you take a cashless policy, it will be 30% more expensive than you buy the same policy from the open market. That's the open fact. Now, cross subsidy, profit in selling policy and loss in selling car is subsidizing. Now, selling policy and body shop is making the losses, which is making selling cars. And surveyor has no role to play. And at the end, I'll go a very classic side, that what was happened before 2001. What has happened in 2001? Before, what is the scene before 2001? There was an insurer. Surveyor was chasing to the insurer to get the work. Dealer was chasing both to get their job done. And customer was chasing all of them to get their job, to get their vehicle repaired. So that was the scene in 2001, before the cashless. Now then comes the cashless motor package policy. And now what is the scene today? Customer has come within the center. Now he is in the clutches of dealer. Insurance company are in the clutches of dealer because they have to take the premium. And surveyor is chasing everybody. You see how the paradigm has shifted. Now the surveyor who has to pay key role now has been to follow everybody to get the payment and to give them. And the insured is totally unaware about that, what is happening. He just submit his card, get the cashless and get away. So there's the major paradigm shift in 2001. So this has changed the cabinet. And see the turnaround for independent surveyor before and after privatization. In 1968 nationalization, what has happened? Privatization, the curve of in-house, the in-house surveyor was totally removed from the scene in 2000. And now after privatization, we are back to same position after 2015. So we are back in the same position which were earlier before nationalization. Now the same situation, the dealers, The mechanic are doing the survey as they were doing before 1968. Dealer was making profit as he was doing 2000 before 1968. So now the same situation has now come. So that is the major paradigm shift after the loss preservation. Now let's see what is the survey profession in other countries. In all other countries, UK has an independent chartered loss adjuster operate under Royal Charter Body. The insurance company also have claim inspector for small cases. In Australia and New Zealand, independent chartered loss adjuster, member of Australian Institute. There's also an Institute of Loss Adjuster. Canada, in-house surveyor and chartered loss adjuster, member of Canadian Institute of Chartered Loss Adjuster. USA, three types of claim adjuster in USA: independent, public, and insurance staff loss adjuster. Licensing requirement of public adjuster vary from state to state. There is a neutral National Institute of National Independent Adjuster having full and provisional membership. In Japan, Japan has the Loss Adjusting Association, which mandate completion of exam conducted by the General Insurance Association of Japan. There are three levels of adjuster: first class adjuster, second class of adjuster, and third class of adjuster. And see our neighboring country, Pakistan. There is no individual surveyor working in Pakistan. All survey companies are private limited company with 1 million paid up capital, at least registered with the company's registration, office government of under company registration. So there is no independent surveyor. There are only insurance company, surveyors companies having a capital of 1 million. This is just our neighbor. Now in 214, a major amendment was done, giving light and hope to all of us. And what was the amendment? Academic qualification to be specified by the regulator. Islam membership is become mandatory for us. That was a big break, a big opportunity we got, that Islam membership become mandatory for SLA license. I still remember, my friend, when this bill was being select committee, this amendment were presented as select committee, there was no body in ISLA because the regulator has taken the charge. The entire body was dissolved, and there was as such no council in that time. And we were aware that a select committee is looking into the recommendation of standing committee, which was headed by Mr. Yashwant Sinha, which has submitted the standing committee report on survey. So we try to get an opportunity, and the old timers, the leaders of the ISLA, Mr. Late, who died just now, South Indian, I forgot his name, and Mr. Lalit Gupta, Mr. Tikku, Mr. Ashok Kumar, I was also one of them. And we sat together, try to get a contact with the Ministry of Finance that we should given a time to present our case with against Senate. So they have given us 3-minute time to present our case with select committee. So I made a presentation to make a presentation because but they say only 3 minutes. There were no presenters, there was no projector available. So initially we have told the select committee, it's a very important point, all of you must understand, that the standing committee headed by Mr. Yashwant Sinha has made recommendation that each and every survey is to be conducted by licensed surveyors in the interest of policyholder. That was the recommendation by the standing committee. And believe me or not, the select committee was not aware about this. They're not aware. And the Ministry of Finance and the regulator person who were sitting there, they have not told the select committee that such a recommendation is already made there. So we told them, we told in front of the select committee, sir, there is already a recommendation by the standing committee that each and every survey is to be done by a independent surveyor in the interest of policyholder. So they say we are not aware of that. So we asked the person of the some officer of the Ministry of Finance that you have not told them about this. So he said yes, there is a recommendation. So they fired him that why you didn't share this with the information. And remember, this particular argument has made a place of Islam in the argument. This particular recommendation by standing committee was made. And if you go a little bit more background, just before the standing committee member, Jagran's group, which is their head office in Kanpur. So Mr. Gupta, who is one of the Raj Sabha member and member of the this, so we called him in the Kanpur. We called him and told him about this. And Mr. Tony Fernandes came all the way from Bombay to make a presentation about this, that why we are being thrown out of this and why we are not being given a place, why each and every survey is not being conducted by SL, why the in-house surveyor are being promoted. So he took a point, and since he was the member, then he raised this question in the committee, and by virtue of that we got this remark, which ultimately get a place of Islam membership in the. That was the background I want to tell. So these are the broader representations. The main feature of this 64 bill, that Islam membership become a membership, mandatory membership. Now regulation. There are two things: act and regulation. What is act and what is regulation? Let us first understand it briefly, because we are technical people. We don't know the nitty-gritty. So I've tried to little explain. Act is a legislation passed by the parliament, can only be amended by another act of parliament. Act set up out to broad legal policy principle, whereas the regulation are commonly known as subsidiary legislation and require publishing in the government gazette to become legal. These are the guidelines that dictate how the provision of the act ought to be applied. So whatever regulation are to be made, they should be made within the purview of the act. And if you give a simple definition, this is a road. If you see a road here, so the road is an act. This road is going to a particular direction, and now the traffic movement is controlled by these traffic controller system, right? That one way the traffic has to go this way, or it to divert it this way because of the disquotation. These are the regulation. So this is the road. The road is the act, and these are the temporary have been made to facilitate the proper movement on the road. These are the regulation. So this is how we say. So broadly, there are 4 regulation before this. First regulation was 2000, then 2013 another regulation, then 2015 another regulation, then national regulation first amendment 2017. 2000 licensing for corporate surveyor first time come in 2000. Online renewal of license started in 2000. Formation of SLA committee. There was survey law assessor committee was provided that there should be a committee. Duties and responsibility of SLA are framed for the first time in the regulation, which I have said earlier missing in the 64 EM. The code of conduct is stipulated in first regulation. Submission of return form IRDA, that was. So these are the first time license was issued with category A, B, and C for 3 departments. They have made department restriction. So first regulation is showing duty responsibility, licensing of corporate surveyor, and conduct code of conduct for SLAs, form 12 to be filled. Then for the first time license was issued for category A, B, C, remember in 2000. Then 2013, ABC were changed to licentiate, associate, and fellow. Student member category was introduced. Practical training for student surveyor was introduced. Student member has to pass an examination. Procedure for corporate licensing is defined. Training hours for promotion from licentiate, associate, fellow are defined. These are the broad guideline of the regulation 13. Then comes after regulation 15. This came after the amendment. Remember, this came after the amendment, 64 amendment. Licensing period reduced to 3 years as per company law requirement. Eligibility qualification to prescribed in the regulation. Limit of survey introduced from 550,000 and for non-motor for the first time. Cooling period after suspension reduced from 3 to 1 years. Appeal against decision of authority to SAT, you can make appeal. Foreign investment allowed up to 49%. Appeal against the decision of ISLA for granting membership shall lie with the authority. This is one change. Then survey losses are not to undertake any advisory or consultancy work or any other job which can give rise to the conflict of interest. Transitory provision for the first time come that anybody is not holding these qualifications, certain qualification which were laid down in certain form, he has to within 3 years time to complete this, because that make a lot of provision, transitory provision. You still remember in Aurangabad case, this issue was raised. In many meetings, this issue was raised. The ISLA does not grant membership of the institute to the applicant. The applicant can appeal to the chairman IRDA, whose decision shall be binding. In case ISLA does not still comply, the authority grants survey losses license. This is also mentioned in Regulation 15. Now, Regulation 14, there were two major flaws in Regulation 15. One is transitory provision, which is giving a lot of problem, right? And then another is financial limit. Otherwise, to my mind, Regulation 15 so far been the best for Islam. I mean, you have a lot of criticism for political reason about Regulation 15, but Regulation 15 was the best thing happened about the surveyor, except two things: transitory provision and financial limit, right? They have been taken care of in Amendment 2017. Now, anybody who has been categorized based on that original categorization, he will be out of the transitory provision. So anybody who is categorized before 2001, the letter of categorization was ample proof about the qualification. Even if you are a civil engineer, you are doing motor, you are categorized before 2001, you can still do a motor survey. So that was a big relief to the surveyor. Now, condition of being associate and fellow member trainer has been reduced to 8 years experience. Earlier it was 15 years to facilitate the in-house surveyor. Part-time courses are allowed for qualification. UGC MHRD recognized courses are considered along with AICTE. Report on survey. This was a major chunk. I mean, during discussion, this was being pushed by then the committee, that what is the reason, what is the rationale about increasing limit, that now we should increase the limit. So on the insistence of the then ISLA regime, a form number 19 was introduced. Oh, okay, which gives the different thing, right? Form 19 was introduced. Then now coming to the Regulation 20, which is the topic of the today. What is the background of this regulation today? To review NSL limit, no survey limit after every 3 years, a regulator has a provision as per Regulation 23 that every 3 years they will have to review the limit. To make necessary changes as per recommendation of working group constituted by IRDA. A working group was constituted by IRDA to study the entire thing and to make necessary changes in regulation. Mr. Tanmay Sarkar was also one of the participants, and you have heard that he has shown some dissent, which has been largely talked about his dissent. And the working group was constituted having a representation of IRDA, PSU, private insurance company, to analyze existing SLA regulation in view of the requirement of industry, to suggest changes in ISLA, MOA and AOA, to bring about this, addressing ISLA membership related issue, to make recommendation in order to bring more clarity on the SLA regulation. The main issue was this, point number 3, ISLA membership issue. That was the core issue. ये सब बाकी अगल बगल की फुलझड़ी है. The main issue was ISLA membership. The working group was basically framed for this. All other things are just filling in the gap, right? Now let's see what are the recommendation and what will they going to the impact of this. Now these are the proposed regulation. Licensing will be dealing from Islam membership category, licentiate or fellowship. License will only possess Islam membership number without any category, right? So now the licenses will be issued without any category. So now the persons who are very happy in getting the fellow and licentiate and associate, so I think the dream is going to be shattered very soon if it comes. So it will be dealing. So this is a big step. I mean, the power of Islam is totally off, right? The student membership category will be redundant for licensing. Student membership definition is changed to student surveyor. Now member will change the take of the surveyor. Wherever member is mentioned, there will be mentioned surveyor. The incumbent surveyor will be out of the ambit of Islam. Practical training under fellow and associate surveyor is demolished. And what logics were given? I mean, they say, if you read the copy of that report, practical training given by the surveyor for 1 year, which is very important in my opinion, very, very important. And they have placed a logic because for anybody living in rural, it is very difficult to come and take training, right? I mean, even the internship for the doctors, after completing their course, 1 year internship was made necessary. So can it be withdrawn for simple reason because he has to travel certain distance every day? That's he need to be get rid of this training, right? I don't know. I mean, these are the three worst thing happening you are seeing in our screen. Delinking of Islam membership, practical training under fellowship associate. Now the surveyor who are not very keen about training, but the keen about fellowship associateship will have to face the music now because there is no associateship. You have to go by your zeal, you have to go by your guile, you have to go by your experience, you have to go by your hard work. Now this fellow, this associateship, all this will go, right? So ye tamga hatne wala hai, boss, right? So these worst things are happened, and all these three things have made Islam debunk, एक तरह से यूजलेस कर दिया है, और इसमें हमने भी रोल प्ले किया है because we have from last 4 years no training has been conducted by Islam for valid invalid reason. I am not making any argument here, but the trainings were totally disbanded, totally discouraged for, I mean, for fictitious reason it has been disbanded, right? So now the people understand the importance of the training. Now there will be a market is open for everybody. Now student surveyor has to clear pre-licensing exam within 3 years, exam extension of 2 years. No further extension shall be given. ISLA will be no more be a body promoted by IRDA under section 42 FIIRDA Act, right? And the IRDA are dissociating itself from ISLA with the pretext, and very beautiful pretext is given. Read it. IRDA is dissociating itself from ISLA with the pretext that it has no direct role in day-to-day affair of ISLA. Further, ISLA aspiring to become a chartered body in future. This is very dangerous proposal, as even after 15 years of its formation of ISLA, it is still struggling to settle on these feet. It seems that after seizing its core activity by way of these regulations, the authority is trying to get rid of Islam burden as a banana peel. जैसे उसका केले का छिलका हम लोग उतार के डाल देते हैं ना, ये हमें कर दिया उन्होंने, हमें जमीन पे डाल दिया उन्होंने, राइट? कि अब आपका कोई यूज नहीं है, अब आपका यूज हो गया, right? So this is very horrible. This is very, very horrible. So it's not going to be easy. The ISLA has to come back. I mean, don't know how we're going to come back. we lost all ground which have gained in 2014. Very sad to say. The term employee surveyor has been introduced in these regulations by amendment. This is again the ISLA stand on membership is only to independent surveyor. For the first time, the term employee surveyor is going to be introduced. License will be issued without mentioning level of ISLA membership. There will be no membership ISLA. All licenses will be issued. Once the applicant is qualified and eligible to get the license, the membership of ISLA should be given automatically to comply with the mandatory requirement. I mean, this is illegal. Once he given a license, because the licensing is a prerogative of the IRDA, but how can IRDA give the license, the ISLA membership automatically? I don't know whether we go to the court and we should get any relief. This is a time will tell, but this is very damaging, very, very damaging. A copy of membership certificate issued by the institute is no more a requirement for licensing. ISLA role is licensing will only be a legal formality due to the act. Correct? NSL will limit 75,000 to 150 as per data of the number of claims based on the paid 1670 sources IBM. Any further increase in SL will lead to the end of independent survey. Now, if the claim is included, the end of the surveyor, end of the independent surveyor. Now in regulation 18, which require passing up exam and training of 1 year under fellow and associate, will now replaced by a pre-licensing exam and mandatory hour training through an institute authorized by. So the training has been taken away by the institute. The membership has been taken away from the institute. The certificate requirement has been taken away by the institute. What is left? The 1 year training will be done away with few hours of practical training. Now within few hours you become a surveyor. So I told you in earlier in control of insurance, it was easy to get a surveyor license than to a driving license. The same situation will come again, bro. Qualification, very funny. For fire, marine, cargo engineering diploma holder, engineer has been added. Diploma is a very qualification. For LOP claim, diploma can do the LOP claim. These are the new qualification criteria. Now all the diploma holder surveyor must feel very proud today that they can handle the diploma. They can handle all LOP claim. I don't know what is going to happen with this group, that only time will tell, but they should be very happy about this. This is all being made to help the private insurance company. Now the issue why regulator is very keen for corporate identity और इन हाउस सर्वे. Why? एक सवाल ये उठता है कि कारपोरेटर इतना, ये हमारा जो रेगुलेटर है वो इतना इंटरेस्टेड क्यों है कारपोरेट आइडेंटिटी के लिए? आपको लगता है सवाल ये? Do you ever realize that why so keen? We are working very hard, we are independent, but why there is a keen? Let us see this, analyze this question. Now this was shared very time back, Mr. Tanmay Sarkar. It's a very presentable side. You see what regulator is done. He's implanting in-house surveyor, and the old plant is being cut by regulator with these regulations and implanting a in-house. This is how the regulation. You see a mail which I received from Mr. Javed Malik in 2019 about the status of the institute in Pakistan. There is no individual surveyor which I will discuss. Every insurance company has a panel of 10-20 surveyors, where as about 220 registered companies of surveyors are operating in the country. Only a minute percentage of total companies is brought on panel of each insurance company, is creating a great agony to the surveyor community. Here in Pakistan, lot of malpractices is going on all around the insurance sector, and nobody is bothering about the honest and competent professional are being pushed back. The condition was much better in 1976 when I joined this profession, and remain intact till 1985. And then the things started worsening day to day. Now The surge is generated to control the malpractices of the poor financial condition of the insurer. So let us see. This was sent by Mr. Qayyum Javed Malik from in one of the Google group. Uh, so I don't know whether we are going to face the similar situation in the time to come. Now, first reason, FDI limit. Are you aware the FDI limit has increased from 49% to 100% from May 19 by Government India for all intermediate, including surveyor? So the government is in favor of corporate identity. Companies like Cunningham, Lindsay and Crawford operating with 49% stake will raise their stake to 100%. Now they can raise stake to 100%. Number of foreign loss assessing companies are likely to enter into the market. There is a huge gap between technology used by the insurance and surveyor. Entry or foreign player will bring the latest technology and advantage digital platform used by the surveyor worldwide. This is something going to be good out of all this exercise. Point number 3, at the cost of our old horses. The companies want surveyor to be a part of service for their product and do not want a neutral agency. Now, this is the main issue. They have a system. They have to provide services. They have to sell policy. They have to take premium. They'll have to take, and in that, the survey is also one of the service tool. It is no more a neutral agency assessment. So they are thinking, they are taking survey profession as a service, nor as a judge. We are service provider, not a judge. We still place our position as a judge, but insurance, the corporate identity doesn't like it. We are like this today, but what they want this from us. They want to be a service provider, not a judge. Proclaim, a big group of this surveyor has 30 offices and about 250 professionals with regional office, Ahmedabad, Delhi, Chennai, Mumbai is a company. Now 2014, the ratio of corporate surveyor to number of independent surveyor is, data is there in IRDA annual report in 2018. So it's rising every year it is rising. Now in financial year 16-13, about 60 lakhs OD claim motor reported. Here I need your attention. The total amount paid around 15,000 crore. Now if you take the mean OD of all these claims, the private car was 27,495 crore, two-wheeler 7,189 crore, goods carrier were 8,214 crore, and passenger car were 3,584. This is the mean average of the loss. So the ratio of this above claim above 50,000, if you see the ratio, private car 92%, 97% of the claim above private car will be up to 50,000. Two-wheeler 99%, goods carrier 33%, and passenger car. So within the financial limit, the 92.87% claim were pertaining to the up to 50,000 are for the private car. As per data given by 216 units, the number of claims per surveyor per year will be around 350. Based on this data, the number of claims per year per surveyor, independent surveyor, will be 30. This was in 16-17. Now, these are the problems we have discussed. First, I'll discuss how we're reacting to this problem. I mean, that's a very important point. How we are reacting to this problem. हम कर क्या रहे हैं इसके लिए? In a very good speech in the America, the Vice President of America, Al Gore, when Mr. Clinton was the president, has given a speech about global warming. In that speech, he discussed about the frog theory, frog effect. And our situation is more or less like this frog effect. Let's discuss what Mr. Al Gore is saying about this frog effect.
If a frog jumps into a pot of boiling water, it jumps right out again because it senses the danger. But the very same frog, if it jumps into a pot of lukewarm water that is slowly brought to a boil, will just sit there and it won't move. It'll just sit there even as the temperature continues to go up and up. It'll stay there until
He die. So he's telling that if you put a frog in a warm water, he'll jump out. But if you put a frog in a lukewarm water, a normal water, and slowly raise the temperature, he will die, but he will not jump out. So we are in the same situation. The heat of change is every day changing, right? We are dying. Our profession is dying. Our independence are at stake. But we are not realizing that because a regulator is slowly rising the temperature. So that was said by Al Gore as a very relevant to us today now. And now what we are trying to say with the ISLA, what we are expecting with ISLA to do, what we are trying to say. We are saying ISLA, boss, ये कॉर्पोरेट सर्वर को खत्म करो, इसको मार दो, right? इसको मारो, finish them. This is what we are expecting. Instead of what should we expect from Islam? To raise a bigger line. To raise a bigger line. So the people, the insurance company should choose, no, we want an independent survey. We don't want a corporate survey. We want an independent survey. But we are so habitual to protection. We remain unprotected. And this attitude of protection we need from Islam. And our council is so much under burden of our expectation that they are following the same path without realizing how we are going. And what we are telling to them, मेरी मांगे पूरी हो चाहे जो मजबूरी हो. So we are trying for that. We are killing them. We are killing every initiative because we are afraid of the change. We have chosen to die with the water when the regulator is raising temperature instead of jumping out and taking an initiative. So this is what we are reacting to the problem. Procrastination has become a very important word. इसला नहीं कर रहा, ये नहीं कर रहा, वो नहीं कर रहा, ये करो, मैंने ये कर दिया, इसला काउंसिल वाले भी कहते हैं मैंने कर दिया, ये कर दिया, ये कर दिया. I mean, if you see the discussion, they are childish discussion we are going on. I mean, without any reason. The dissent note by Tanmay Sarkar, which he's supposed to do, he's done it, is being told out of proportion. As if something great has been done. I mean, does we remain busy in these small things? Are we going to look back, look forward something more? We are resisting for change and we do not offer any solution. Correct? because industry is changing. We are resisting those changes. Even we are not playing our role to that extent. We remain so protected. Now look the framework, how insurance sector work, how it works. Now the speaker asks who want to change, everybody raises his hand. Then he says who wants to change, then everybody is silent. Who wants to change? Everybody raises, everybody wants to change. But when he says who wants to change, nobody. So this is the situation today. We are doing collective bargaining. In fact, I'm very sorry to say that all senior surveyors who had already played their inning are the biggest culprit, including me, just to bargain our ego, just to secure ourselves. Though we have played our inning, we are playing with the life of newcomers. We are playing with the future of the profession. So ISLA is more busy in securing PC Shukla, who has already played his inning. Instead of looking to a young surveyor, a young aspirant surveyor, ISLA is more busy on what? In protecting PC Shukla. This is dangerous, horrible. Now, what we are doing and what we should do. What we are doing, boss, we are chasing the change. A change occur by the private insurance company or the public sector, we follow that change. Right? So we are always in the chase mode. They say you have to submit the report within 30 days through email. We start doing that. We are not giving any our own dimension. We have not formed our own system of procedure. We are chasing the change. And what should happen actually instead of this? The change should chase us instead of chasing the change. So this is ridiculous. So what we need is to make proactive, correct? And seeking negative action from ISLA. ये खत्म कर दो, वो खत्म कर दो, ऐसा कर दो. And our leaders are compelled to, because they have to earn vote, they have to secure their position. We have not given them any direction. We have not given them any direction. We given only one direction. मेरी मांगे पूरी हो चाहे जो मजबूरी हो. We have only given one direction to them. We are telling them reverse the clock. Boss, clock को उल्टा घुमाओ. No. इसको just reverse it. इसको दोबारा 12 बजाओ. That is what expecting them. A negative action from ISLA. A lot of energy of our council, which can do lot of work. I don't blame any council. I was also a council member. I don't blame them, because they have to fulfill the aspiration. But at the same time, I must tell you, leaders are those who make leaders, not followers. This is the test of leadership. If I am able to make leader, then I am a leader. If I am making followers, then I am not a leader. Unfortunately, everybody, including me, who remain ISLA, were making the followers, not leaders. We're not creating any leadership in the system. Now, we have to play our role in the whole exercise of insurance gambit. Okay? So are we playing our role there? We have one of the important tool. Now, what is this? What is this tool? Now see the changing time. You see, this is a shop. Now it looks like that. How many of you still get your shirt stitched from a very old tailor sitting outside near your mohalla, are you going to buy a ready-made shirt? Right? So these are the changing time. Now things have changed. This look more organized. And organized means corporate. Corporate means what? Cooperate. It means that few surveys combined together cooperate to create a system which give you a perfect delivery in time, a quality delivery in time, every time, right? So these are the meaning of the cooperate. No, earlier cinema hall used to be look this. Now, I mean, these are the changes, and you prefer to go this. Do you go to that, right? Even the car industry, they have changed. Ambassador car to this. Even, I mean, the best situation is the workshop. You see, the old workshop before privatization were looking like this. Remember this? All workshop were like this. Now how they look? These kind of the workshop, organized. They earn more, but customer is very happy. आज आप कहीं वर्कशॉप में गाड़ी का सर्विस भी कराइए तो 3 बार फोन आता है, सर आपकी सर्विस ठीक हुई है, सर आर यू हैप्पी, इफ देयर इज एनी प्रॉब्लम आई एम देयर, एंड यू जस्ट गो, दे विल गिव यू टू ए रूम, गेट, आपको एक आएगा, वो आपसे बात करेगा, दे विल गेट द फॉर्म फिल्ड, you have to just walk out. He'll pick up the car from your home and deliver to the car owner. These are the value addition they have done. Just learn from them. I'm not talking learning, this is their service oriented, but we'll have to see what we can do about it. These are the changing times. So earlier we used to look like this, now we should be like this. This is the body language. This should be the same person after 2013, right? So we should look to the value addition. Now the question is what we should do now. Whatever happened has happened. What we should do now? हमें करना क्या? क्या करें? Right? Now, many times I have shared this presentation, Eagle's Flight. You would have seen it, I am very sure. But this tells the real cracks of the solution, real cracks of the problem. Every time I see this presentation, I am really thrilled. Every time I'm thrilled. You would have seen, I am very sure that most of you are watching this presentation, but see it today again, every time you see it. Whenever you get a time to see this presentation, accomplished change, flight of an eagle. Many times you have to take the course of the change in order to survive. Just to survive, we have to take the course of the change. This is the message of this. And this is one of the finest presentation, and every surveyor should have it, particularly surveyor of my age or the surveyors who have already broken their bleak. So this is what my message about this presentation. Now, there's a story about rise and demise of Nokia. Now, you remember your first phone. What was your first phone? Nokia, isn't it? I mean, everybody who is seeing this presentation, what was your first telephone, mobile? Nokia.
Yes,
Nokia,
sir. Nokia.
Nokia was the first phone for everybody around, right? So what has happened to Nokia? The rise and demise of the Nokia. See this story. It was very popular. Nokia, Nokia. My Nokia has surveyed. A dog bite, it can survive. By a car, it can survive. By a wildfire, it can survive. So Nokia is very strong, tough phone. Being dropped into the toilet, it survived. Even if dropped in the toilet, it can be survived. So these are the great features of the Nokia, very popular Nokia. And mobile phone market was the more than 40% market in 2007 was for the Nokia out of the total mobile market. Then comes a language called Android. The Nokia was using language Symbian, right? Now most of the companies are shifting to Android, but Nokia refused to do it because he is bank upon the Symbian, because they say our brand value is very good. We are very strong. We are very old. We are very strong. And they did adopt for the Android. Then Nokia was sold to Microsoft. Microsoft even bought, they have used their own platform, right? And it was sold, connecting the people was sold to Microsoft. Nokia was sold to Microsoft. Then they launched a famous product, Lumina 535, but not with Android. It was the Microsoft own platform. And you see the long queues in Delhi for booking of this mobile. Lumia 535, still remember. Then ultimately, Windows Phone doesn't survive in front of Android. And even the Android was this black taken over. 83% phones were using by Android in 2013. From 2007 to 2013, within 4 years, 83% phone were using Android, right? Instead of BlackBerry, Windows Phone only 4%, and one is iOS, it was 14%. And Nokia, people lead to like them, was buried for all the time to come because it doesn't change with time. So this story gives a great lesson. It doesn't change with the time. You ultimately may be a brand value. So what I recommend, invest on profession and set up an infrastructure. A person should be having infrastructure means sufficient tools. What I observe with the old surveyor, particularly my observer, I wanted to share with you. I know I am little taking more time. Sachin, should I continue?
Yes, sir. Please
Hello?
continue. Yes, please
Okay.
continue, sir.
So invest on profession and setup. Many of us who came from a very poor background, and most of the surveyors who have joined this profession is not out of choice, but out of crisis. I mean, if I ask a question many times in various training program, I ask a question from surveyors, do you want your son to become a surveyor? 99% surveyor will say no. Now just see to it. Now, if I am not liking this profession, I am there in this profession for 30 years. I rose my family with earning from this profession. I built a house. I bought a car out of this profession. And still, I want my son not to join this profession. It means what the hell I was doing here? What the hell I was doing here? What the hell business I was doing here? So I was just doing it just to अपना पेट भर रहे थे हम लोग. We are not doing it as a profession. I mean, this is ridiculous. 99% surveyor of my age will say, no, I don't want my son to be in this profession. It means that we never deserve to become a surveyor. It is out of blue. Somebody told me, Shukla ji, you have no job. Your factory is closed. And now you can take the license. I applied the license. I take the license, started working. वो insurance company के चक्कर लगाता रहा, getting some job. कुछ किसी को खुश किया, किसी को नहीं खुश किया. That's why I started working on this. This is how I got this breakthrough. Right? This is how I bring up my family. So I have not taken this profession as a profession. Though I built house, I married my 2 daughters. I married my son. I've given them a good education. I bought a car. I've done everything. But still, I don't want my son to join this profession. So that's enough. I mean, this statement is enough to tell the state of the state. So we should create a system. We are so obsessed with the personality. We should be system. There should be a system. When you go to a mall, when you go to anywhere, when you go to a workshop, what you see, a system is working. Do you know that boss is sitting every time there? A system comes. So they create system. Form group or company and align with 2-3 surveys to cater a large territory. Need area of operation को बढ़ाइए अपना. Don't be contented to a city or this. कम से कम आपका area, at least your area operation should be not than 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers. If you really want to survive in future, because the first question anybody asks with broker, then ask me, Mr. Shukla, you are in Kanpur? Yes, I am in Kanpur. How far you can do the survey? Can you do the survey in Lucknow, Gorakhpur, this and that? This is the first question they ask. What should I say to them? No, I will only do survey at my mohalla. I mean, people want change. Now the question is, why company or corporate? Why they are preferred their independent survey? Let us realize this. Why they are being preferred? Now suppose there are 4 surveyor A, B, C, D. Right? Now surveyor C is very good in IT. Surveyor B is very good in reporting. Surveyor D is very good in survey. And surveyor A is very good in marketing. They are all independent force. They are very good in marketing, but very good in IT. Right? If all the 4 surveys should join hand, what will happen? It creates corporate. It means excellence. Here you create a delivery, here create a system. They joined hand. And you should be compelled to join hand. Either you join hand or took a job in the corporate. This is going to happen. या तो खुद नौकर बनो या मालिक बनने का कुवत रखो अपने अंदर. Now, individual surveyor make a report. It's totally personality driven system. Now she is making chapatis. आज इनका मूड ठीक है, पति से झगड़ा नहीं हुआ, आज रोटी अच्छी बनेगी. कल इनका मूड खराब है या चूल्हे में लकड़ी ठीक से जल नहीं रही है तो रोटी अच्छी नहीं बनेगी. Right? So the personality driven system, the quality is not uniform. It vary with the how much she is busy, what is her mood, how is her health, what are the tools she has. But see this system creates chapatis of equal size, equal heating, equal drive, everything, uniform quality with speed. Correct? So this is how the difference between individual and a corporate. Increase your area of operation, make your organization a brand, create uniform quality as nobody has time to read your report. A quality product, nobody has the time to read your report. Look beyond time and be proactive. Prepare NSL claims instead of survey limit claim. I request all the surveyors to get the prepare for no survey limit claim instead of focusing on survey limit claim. Because now the real opportunity lies there, NSL claims. Right? So now start preparing for NSL claims because there you have get the real volume and chunk instead of SL claims. Change your attitude from a judge to a service provider. This is what is needed. I am again saying, nobody wants to be a neutral surveyor. They want a service provider. Just like this. In the whole system of product planning, you are one of the service provider. अभी जो हम जज बने बैठे हैं ना, ये थोड़ा सा हमें चेंज करना पड़ेगा. वो हमने जज अफोर्ड कर लिया, बॉस यंग लोग नहीं अफोर्ड कर पाएंगे. ठीक है, दे कैन अफोर्ड मी. जैसे अभी अपना वो 90 साल के वकील थे राम जेठामलानी. I mean many solicitor firm may come, but still Ram Jethamalani will remain relevant. So either become Ram Jethamalani or become a company. So every individual surveyor has to survive. If he become a Ram Jethamalani, yes, he has to survive. He will survive because he is excellent in his profession. Everything is fair in NSL claims except for professional obligation. So focus for NSL claims, no survey limit claim, than for this. And be a facilitator, not a obstructor, because this is a whole system. This is the whole system insurance industry का. जिस जनरल इश्यूज सेक्टर का ये सिस्टम है, this is improve process. प्रोसेस का इंप्रूवमेंट होना चाहिए, प्रोडक्ट इनोवेशन होना चाहिए. Underwriting is one of the major tool. Regulation are one of the major tool. Then actuarial practices, and then marketing. These are the tools, but one tool is missing here. Is the loss minimization and claim management. But the question is, are we doing it right? Are we doing it right? Are we contributing to these two things? I'm sorry, we are not. हम सिर्फ अपने बच्चों का पेट पाल रहे हैं, बस, that's it. Role of ISLA after regulation 2000. Delinking membership shall be the greatest disadvantage. It will be practically end of the institution. We will back to 2000 situation. ISLA will be toothless organization. Now it is the responsibility of the senior surveyors to see where they wish to take ISLA. We are now in an endless dark tunnel. Now it's a time for ISLA leaders to decide, do they want to save the profession or person? That's a very important point I want to make. आपको धंधा बचाना है कि लोग बचाने? किसको बचा रहे हैं आप? To whom you are saving? हम लोगों को बचा रहे हैं और किसको बचा रहे हैं? पीसी शुक्ला को. At the cost of youth, at the cost of aspiration of youth, we are saving P.C. Shukla. That is very damaging. P.C. Shukla has already played his inning. We have the greatest advantage. These are the advantage. 9,000 survey across the country. ISLA can provide a platform for GPS based. Yesterday, I was looking to the program by Nasik Unit 1 Nation 1 portal. Hope it works. Hope, God hope, my blessing with this. So we can provide the services, GPS based services, because that is the only strength is this. Nobody has this strength. We have all weaknesses, but this is our strength. ISLA should immediately meet PSU. This is the only light. PSU is the only light, because if you are delaying it, they have already opted for EOU. Now the next step will be in-house surveyor. We still have once the PSU is out of this ambit, then the profession, and so it is better to have one in the hand than two in the blue. So अभी हमारे हाथ में PSU है, तो हमें PSU को solution देना पड़ेगा. They are looking for solution to match, to compete with the private insurance company. But are we ready for that? Are we competent to do it? या हमारे मेंबर ये हमें करने देंगे? That is the question. ISLA should be decode the fake propaganda by private players in media that no survey limit means वो कोई जरूरत नहीं है, सर्वे लिमिट की जरूरत नहीं है, ये इसको डिकोड करना पड़ेगा. The final message is what regulator think about us. This is what we are being held dead by the regulator. And the last slide is, it's a humorous slide. I made you a lot of, put you a lot of seriousness. Survey profession yesterday to tomorrow. मैं कैसा था in this profession yesterday? मैं ऐसा था. कभी जलता था, कभी बुझता था, कभी आराम करता था, कभी बच्चों के साथ टाइम स्पेंड करता था. ऐसा था, राइट? आज का सर्वर का क्या दिक्कत है? वो जलते रहता है. और आने वाले सर्वर के साथ क्या होना है, इसकी तो मोमबत्ती दोनों तरफ से जलनी है. So this is yesterday, today and tomorrow, friends. So wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful eye-opening session for all the surveyors. We have our president with us for. I request Raju sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, Shatul sir. Namaste.
Namaskar.
Thank you.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
Great presentation.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. Thanks,
And
sir.
it
Thanks.
was really elaborate, comprehensive, and
Ji, sir.
path-seeking presentation, rather, I would say. Yeah,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
as you rightly said, let us see what needs to be done, rather
Yes.
than dwelling on the past. I agree with your points. Number one, we need to engage in dialogue with PSUs, which we have already started. In fact,
Yes.
we have combined meeting with 4 PSU CMDs and in the presence of Ministry of Finance. That happened some time back, but of course, due to advent of COVID, things could not move as we planned. But definitely we are on the job. And
Yes.
yeah, there is two-way. I would rather extend a bit that we need to engage in dialogue with the private insurers also to make sure that they stick to the or try to appraise or appreciate the services of independent surveyors. But then how to do it is definitely a combination of cumulative efforts from our fraternity.
Yes, sir.
So coming to the aspirations of members or the profession coming of new members, the situation is a bit complex rather. As you rightly said, we used to get license very easily earlier, just earlier, even easier than a driving license, as you rightly put it. But now, getting a license, though it is not a requirement after 2015 amendment, IRDA is making heavy weather out of it. But then opposing IRDA is not a solution. We have to sit with them. We have apprised him what exactly is the rule position, where we are going off the track. We need to work together, and we have to project our image in such a way. This SLA is the only entity which is making the impact of making the promise made under insurance policy a reality. This is the crux of the, as you have rightly put it, and I also emphasized that fact in my recent presentation to the Ministry of Finance. And for information of the participants, I have received a call 3 days back from Mr. Anurag Thakur himself. So he was asking about a few things, not exactly interaction, but he was hearing more than telling anything, because a DO letter has gone from Mr. on various issues related to the profession. But then coming to, it all depends upon how ISLA survives this situation of regulation 2020. This is the crucial point or crucial situation for the profession. As you rightly said, ISLA should exist if the surveyor has to exist or to progress further. Yeah, there needs to be some sort of improvement in work standards and delivery of service from the surveyors, be it independent surveyor or the corporate. Yes. How to make it corporate? Because corporate is more recognized as a managing things rather than delivery of service. That concept has to go. But then we are not against corporates, but corporate spreading their wings against the act. Like say a corporate surveyor is there at Delhi. We don't mind having his partners across the country. But say two qualified partners as now being sought to be made under 2020 regulations is, it is sufficient that a minimum 2 qualified persons are there to form a surveyor company. Okay, then others can be non-qualified persons or businessmen to look after other functions. Similarly, what I feel is, supposing they are employing 100 employees, 100 licensed independent surveyors or whatever you call. So licensed entities are made or unlicensed entities are made across the country, say about 100. I think earlier McKinsey, some company was there. Similarly, if they do, what is the fate of this profession? We are agreeing with the corporate as represented by their partners or directors. Yes, they are licensed entities. They are our ISLA members also in their individual capacity. They have every right, and we respect that situation. But what if they employ and utilize unlicensed persons, like recently happened when our council member, Mr. Jalal Das himself has complained. A surveyor company located at Delhi has sent an unqualified, unlicensed person to do a survey in Guwahati, in which, unfortunately, the local office has deputed Mr. Jalal Das. By the time he reached, they say somebody has come and done it. So these are all the aberrations in the profession, and which we need to overcome. Then coming to the entry level membership seeking persons, as of today, we find a rather peculiar mentality. They say, I'm not able to get your membership. I'm not able to maintain my family, maintain earning. I'm suffering since last 3 months to get your membership. I'm starving. Well, for such things, we have no answers. But definitely, ISLA has to stabilize and project as a brand survey profession, be it an individual or be it a corporate. We don't mind. But corporate has to limit their activities rather than resorting to contract survey. This is our main concern, and let us see how it all works. I also say the frequent elections in ISLA is another hindrance, or rather a big handicap in the progression of the profession. So we'll have to think about many of these things. Let us come up and see. We'll also discuss among themselves, and if necessary, we'll form a consultative committee. But we have seen the consultative committees are committees formed with members, rather are time barred or without delivering any service. I would rather say we would associate one of the members, be it from CC or out of CC, a political persons, to be associated with such of the consultative committees, which would constitute mostly professionals. This is one approach which I have meant. So I would request all the participants to think over on these lines, and let us come up with solutions rather than confrontation. We will have to move forward with knowledge, commitment to the profession rather than individual ambitions. There is absolutely no ambition for persons like P.C. Shukla and me anymore in this profession. But yes, we have a commitment towards the profession, and also ISLA, yes, because it is our representative body. If ISLA is there with a proper image, yes, we can do it. This is my submission. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank
So,
you. Thank you.
thank you, Shukla sir. Thank you, Raju sir, for your guidance. I hope members like today's session, and I requested all the members to give your opinion and along with the suggestions on training@isla.net. So if required, we will take another session on this. Do write us on training@isla.net. Thank you for today. We will sign off now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.